remember, Rook, when I mentioned another ceremony I must perform at the Memorial Gardens? The time has come. I was hoping you would accompany me again.
More grave lighting?
No, this would be a more personal visit, whenever you've time.
Hey, remember the dragon we were talking about with the lords?
Which one? There were a few in that conversation.
The fire breather that was killing people. Veiljumpers sent word. She's in Arlathan Forest. Destroyed a village and turned it into her new lair. I've got the location from the Veiljumpers. We can go whenever you want.
Rook, something's come up. Evka dug around and found us someone who knows more about the Gloomhowler.
Anything useful?
Our new friend wants to talk in person. Figured you'd want to come along for this one.
Well, he did worse than just try to kill me.
Really?
The guy stiffed me on the job. Those were good potions I used. Expensive, too.
Right, that makes sense.
Something I should know about?
Not much. Just sitting, you know.
Why don't you join Balara, Rook? I was just leaving. Belle, swing by when you get a chance. I found another set of papers for you.
Thanks, Nev. That's nice. Sorry, Rook. Not great company right now.
You just want to sit here quietly. That's fine. I can do quiet.
You're not very good at silence.
I'm great at most silences, just bad at awkward ones.
Fair enough.
Now for the part I'm not great at. Here I go. What's wrong, Balara?
Nothing, Rook. Don't worry about it.
I asked, didn't I?
It's Syrian. You saw who he is, what he's become.
Yeah.
He's a monster, Rook.
And you're worried about what you'll need to do to stop him?
I'm worried I won't be able to, or won't want to. Anaris brought Syrian back. My brother. When he asked me to join them, what if I'm too much like Syrian?
If you were, you wouldn't have turned them down. Which you did.
I did, but Rook, it was hard. I wanted my brother back. I mean, before all of this, Syrian and I were the same. Inquisitive, driven, pushing ourselves. The search for the Nadister Thalin, the archive, that was both of us, working together. I want to say I'll keep saying no, keep turning him down, but he's my brother. What keeps me from doing what he did.
You're not Syrian, Balara. You're you.
And what if that's not good enough?
Then keep your evil to off hours. Replace Lacanus's coffee beans with hot peppers. Buy Nev a bag of wisp food. Hide Tarsh's snacks.
You're not very good at being evil.
I'll work on it. I'm kind of making this up as I go.
Our team motto, pretty much.
Let's paint that on the side of the lighthouse.
I'm sure Solus would love that.
You good?
I'm good. Thanks, Rook. I'll see you later.
I've got a meeting with the Threads.
The threats? What for?
I need leads on Alia. I'm hoping they have something. Dharma said to invite you. Someone's on his good side.
Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
Emmerich, how could you stay annoyed at that face? Skull.
Oh, Manfred. Whatever will happen to you if I pass on?
If?
Ah, there's something I'd like to talk about. Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
Doesn't ring a bell?
A lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
Not everyone gets to meet their idols.
Oh, but I was nervous. The Liches are the great protectors of the Necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
If that's what you want.
I'd anticipated more surprise.
Emmerich, you live in a haunted necropolis.
Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
Blue creepvine. This will do nicely.
Emmerich, aren't most undead just random spirits inside corpses?
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets. Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The liches of the necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them when?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to?
No, mercifully, that falls to another watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
So, what's holding you back from lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! A promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
That's reasonable. Lots of people are afraid of dying.
Is it? When it keeps me from what I most desire? Traditionally, candidates for lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkos? She's a lich.
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So, what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous, but can't learn any new magic.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkos avoided?
The spirits of the necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues. She apparently put together more than I knew. It would be just like her to skip the rituals, the cleansings, the preparations of the soul.
For a watcher, Hezenkos is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them.
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirits are dangerous, but how quickly most respond to a bit of kindness or care, or simple attempt to understand. For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to read all of one's... We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you. Here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleanor of Volkaren. They walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim, early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I've wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom.
What would they have wanted me to be?
Sorry, but I'm pretty much the worst person you could ask.
Surely not the worst.
I've got my days. You could always speak with your folks, couldn't you?
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
Can't have that.
He'd be impossible, I agree.
Greta said thanks for the repair job.
Hey there, Rook. Thanks for tagging along, Rook. Those feelers I put out about the Gloomhowler turned up something. Evka, I got your message.
I figured you'd want to hear this. This is Davrin and Rook. You can trust them.
What's your name?
It's okay. We're here to help.
Nothing to be afraid of.
My name's Valia. When I heard about Wise Helped, what happened... I once trained to be a Grey Warden, but I left before the joining.
It's not for everyone.
It wasn't that. It's... I'm the one who found the Griffin eggs, before they hatched.
I've got about 1,000,000 questions. But why come to us now?
I knew some of the Wardens who were caring for the Griffins, Remy and Lancet. I think I know what killed them.
The Gloomhowler. It's a Grey Warden, isn't it? An elf?
But that's all we know.
Yes. Her name was Isaiah. I found her diary. She was a mage. She blighted all the Griffins during the Fourth Blight.
What?
Upon direct orders from the First Warden at the time. She had no choice. This was centuries ago.
Why would they do that?
In her diary, Isaiah said the Blight was going badly. The Wardens couldn't win. They turned to blood magic. The Griffins fought harder, longer.
I see where this is going.
Isaiah didn't want to do it. But orders were orders. It won the war.
But then...
The Griffins became rabid. They turned against the Wardens.
So then the First Warden turned against them.
He ordered them all destroyed.
That's why they're extinct.
Could understand why this Isaiah is so pissed.
She felt betrayed by the wardens, forcing her to do it. As penance, she hid the remaining eggs with a protective spell. I followed the clues and found them.
That was 400 years ago. She shouldn't even be alive.
Her last entry said she left for her calling.
Then she's probably in the deep roads. Blighted. Twisted.
Hassan? I was there the day you hatched. You've grown.
He's a scrapper. Doesn't bite down from a fight.
Always squabbling with his brothers and sisters. I remember feeding him gingerwort truffles as a baby.
So you're the reason Davron's been hunting mushrooms instead of monsters?
Anything for the prince.
I don't see a crown on your head yet, boy.
There should be. Griffins give the wardens hope. Something to rally around after Weishaupt. Please find his brothers and sisters, whatever it takes. We owe them so much.
Count on it.
Stay safe, Hassan.
This is good information, but it still doesn't tell us where the Gloomhowler is.
No, but the other wardens will keep looking. The Gloomhowler, Isaiah, can't hide forever.
Do you miss Weishaupt sometimes?
Sometimes.
Me too.
Evka, Antoine, you needed help with something? Is this about your studies?
Look at the blight here. The world dies like this if we do nothing. We need a deeper understanding of how it behaves. I have theories, but...
Something's wrong.
We've been keeping Darkspawn away from Lavendel, but those have been packs. What's heading for us now is a small horde. We push it back, or the locals wind up dead.
All right. Whatever you need, we'll do what we can.
Thanks. We must get ahead of this.
Where do things stand now?
Every warden will put themselves between Lavendel and the Blight. But we'll be spread thin around the village. There's only so many of us. We need to make that work.
Your plan to get us through is a good one.
I gave advice and people listened.
You credit yourself too little.
I have a feeling he's right.
Fine. I'm great, the plan's great. Let's hope we don't die.
You are, it is, and agreed.
So what now? What can I do?
There are sentries equipped with horns stationed around the village. Those horns are sounded when an attack begins, and again if backup's needed. That lets us focus our numbers. I need you to check with the sentries. Make sure they're ready.
Save Lavendel, then back to studying the Blight.
Yep, that's it.
Check back with us when you're done with the sentries.
We can hold off the smaller packs for a while, but there's no going back once the horde hits.
Come on, let's check on the Warden sentries.
Well, look who it is.
Evka sent me. How are things?
The Darkspawn aren't on us, but they... And you go where the fight is, don't you? Tell Evka I'm ready. We'll...
Hey, Evka wanted me to check.
Not on our watch.
We took those dragons?
Come here.
Hey, Evka's... We should get back to Evka.
Nothing we can do. I think we
Evka, the sentries are ready.
Good. Are you?
That's a horn. The Darkspawn are here.
it's coming.
We can't let them break through to the village.
Lavendale's the only place left with life in it.
We make sure it stays alive.
Coming at range.
We're not off the hook yet.
We're not done yet. Done.
Hey, take him out. They're down, but there's more fight left out there.
All right, be ready for the next call. We can check on the caves, see how the fight is there. We'll head to the farmlands.
No problem.
This is it! They can't break through!
More on the way. Good. I'm all warmed up.
Thanks for having my back.
You took more than your share. Antoine?
What is it? Something evil. A strange calling in the blight.
Something to look into.
Yes. But that's what we do. And today, we won the day.
He's right. Take that with you. When the next thing comes, we'll handle that too.
It's in here too.
You're sure?
It's faint, but yes.
Is something wrong?
Yeah, but first you deserve some thanks. Lavendale is safe.
They still need our protection, of course. But we won this fight together.
I'd suggest we celebrate, but Antoine heard something strange in the Blight, and...
It's not music you want to dance to.
The Blight's song wasn't just strange. At first I heard the gods, but now... there's something else. And it's here, in the wetlands. It pulses. Weird. Pulling somewhere dark. It sounds... I don't know. Pleased?
What does that mean?
We don't know yet.
Likely nothing good.
So you have a target but not enough details. Yeah, I've had contracts like that.
What? Ah, yes. You can relate.
To a point. I can guess based on people's nature, but this...
is something entirely unknown. We need more time to study what the new song means, and where it leads.
And you can't listen to it all the time. We don't know what it is.
Evka, But yes, we have many different tests to run. Remember to visit Rook. We'll have results eventually.
Until then, stay safe. Antoine, what's on your mind?
It's like there's a pattern in the blight, and no pattern at all.